on. So I'm going to actually start. I'm going to introduce you to Candz, who is my host for this evening, or my co-host, or hostess with the mostess. And then she's going to take it away from that. Now, I've known Candz for probably around just over a year now, although it feels like a lot longer, considering what we've been through. When you look back over a year and you realize what has been achieved, it's quite crazy to think that you could put this much time, this many things in so little time. So Candz' background before the gifting economy, which she's going to share with you, was in the hairdressing business for 22 years. 11 of that she owned her own very successful salon in Cape Town, very upmarket area, but reviewed her whole life choice and career choice just at the beginning of COVID, after she also had a back injury. So she moved to a beautiful area called Wilderness in the Western Cape, and it is the wilderness. It is absolutely amazing. I love it there and super jealous that she lives there, although it does get slightly cold this time of year. I've seen her wrap herself up with a blanket, where after a little bit of time and trying to review what she wanted to do, came across the gifting economy and realized that not only could she achieve some of her life dreams and passions, but at the same time could help teach, guide, and coach others who are willing to learn how they could do the same as well. So her background in business, her passion for helping people really molds so well into the gifting economy. So I'm going to hand you over to Candz, and I'll speak to you again shortly.
Thank you so much. So yeah, I've known Tim for a year as well, and I must say my first introduction to him was when we were on the precursor program. And when I'm passionate about something, I want to learn every single thing about it, from back to front, and wherever I could find education, which was few and far between in those days, I would. So Chris started presenting with his little group. I started presenting with my group. And I can't really say Chris's was little. Mine was probably little compared to his. And then Tim also had his own group. So, I used to jump on all the presentations so that I could enhance my presentation style, because I come from a background of hairdressing, and the only experience that I had in front of a camera was by doing videos for my hair salon, advertising products, and obviously in lockdown got a little bit more comfortable in front of the camera. But I always used to think, and I still do, that Tim is just a fantastic presenter. He's got such a natural flow with the way that he talks about things, and he always has little golden nuggets of perspective. So if you aren't on any groups, make sure you get on them, because Tim will release a video every now and then, especially when things are going crazy or when a lot of people have got questions, and then he just zones in and puts the perspective out there, which makes everybody calm down. But it's been a wonderful joy working with him. And I actually approached Chris and Tim and I said, please, can we work together? If we all work together and we support one another, then we'll have more people. And when we collaborated and we all supported one another, it just grew exponentially. And that is why we were very proud to have so many people that we migrated over into GL in the beginning. But a little bit about his background: he's was in hospitality for 27 years until 2018. So he woke up a little bit before everybody was forced to wake up with COVID, and he became happily unemployable. And pursuing profits from his own business was far, far more exciting and rewarding than earning a salary from a boss and a job. So he's been a proper digital nomad for the last year, traveling all around South Africa, experiencing beautiful communities. And I mean, Gift of Legacy is all about community. So it's been really wonderful for him to go out and see that life outside of the big cities that we all used to is quite interesting, the way that they support each other and don't necessarily rely on government and that kind of thing. So he is still wanting to travel all over the world, and that was the plans originally, but of course was limited, but that didn't stop him. He sold his house, him and his wife, they took their 2 dogs, they bought a beautiful vehicle to travel in, and they have been living the life. So I've had the pleasure of spending a little bit of time with him every time they come to Sedgefield, and it's always fun. And Tim's interests are, of course, in personal development, like most of us that are on here presenting. That is a passion that's close to our heart. And he combines that with online businesses, and the passion that he has is in sharing knowledge to help others to achieve their goals. And of course, when he found Gift of Legacy, it was perfectly aligned to his values of wealth, health, and education. So lovely. I always get excited when I get an opportunity to present with Tim. And it's always different and amazing every single time. So I'm just going to switch off the chat because it's a little bit distracting. And then we can get everybody to focus on the beautiful gift that we are going to be sharing with you this evening. So welcome to Gift of Legacy. If it is your first time here, I'm very excited to tell you and welcome you and let you know that whoever invited you really cares about you and they can see the full potential of being in this beautiful platform. It truly is a gifting activity that's created abundance, and it is exclusively invitation only. So you will not find this anywhere on social media. And it is beautiful in the way that we invite, because we always say, this is really a beautiful heart matter. You enter because you trust the feeling that you have in your heart. You can only share this with absolute confidence if you feel it and believe with all your heart. Because when you're in your heart, nobody can take that away from you. So no matter how many no's you get, if you really are in your heart, it won't matter. And that rejection that happens and that horrible fear that we have of it won't mean a thing. So thank you for taking up the invitation. And I'm really excited that we can color your world this evening. So just a little bit of a disclaimer. This presentation is purely for information sharing only and definitely not to be construed as financial advice. Neither myself, Tim, or any Gift of Legacy presenters are registered financial or tax advisors. And this information that we share with you this evening is only intended to give examples of what a participant may expect. So a little bit of an introduction. This is a beautiful gifting activity, and it really is supported by a unique algorithm. Now, I laugh when people expect algorithm to be a miracle. The word algorithm actually just means that it's a set of rules. So if you do this, then this must happen. If you do that, then that must happen. That is what an algorithm is. But the beauty of this is I've been in a couple of gifting platforms before that, and a lot of them didn't even have a computer program to support the volume of people that is required in order to create the movement that we have. So it's really, really important that a computer program is behind us. And boy, oh boy, have I learned so much in the last year. Developing a program like this is not something that you can do overnight. It's not something that's easy because it's a new way of doing things, and it is not cheap, believe you me. So I love that Gift of Legacy's already celebrated 6 months. It's really stood the test of time. Most of the other gifting programs that I entered into maybe lasted a month, 3 months max, and then they just kind of fizzled out. But this really is part of a new economic paradigm that is replacing outdated traditional structures that no longer serve society. And I mean, if you've seen what's happening in the world, people are really focusing on the struggle and all the bad things that are out there. But really, if you choose to go into this with the right mindset, you don't have to focus on all the struggle that's in the world. This is really a tool to enable you to thrive and not just survive. So let's talk about gifting. So who is this for? Well, for me, you know, I was a hairdresser because I like making people feel good. And I got to a point in my career where it was just destroying my body. And I felt that it was a little bit superficial because I wanted to do more things for people other than make them feel good about their appearance. I wanted to change the world and do things that I hadn't been able to accomplish before. And what I love about Gift of Legacy is that if you use it correctly and you follow the guidelines, you can really create abundance in your life. So if you believe in the principle of sowing and reaping, giving and receiving, blessing someone that you don't even know, and this is such a joy to witness, is that of course it's wonderful to receive gifts. But once you've received gifts and you go onto that next board, and when it's a higher board, to give that gift of such a substantial amount of money is, at first it was a bit scary when I first entered, but oh my goodness, like giving somebody $1,600 or giving somebody $5,000 is such an exhilarating feeling, because firstly, you've got the gifts from your previous board, but then you've also given somebody the opportunity to realize their dreams. So blessing someone you don't even know is the best feeling. Taking control of your life. And of course, once you've done that, you will be in a position to help others succeed. So if any of this resonates with you, you're definitely in the right place, and just hold on to your seatbelt as we move forward through this presentation. So a global gifting activity. We have no limitations of borders. We are over in, I think, 107 countries now, and just growing. And it's just so beautiful to witness that we have uplifted so many communities, and of course ourselves. And we really are creating abundance. Like I always say, I've realized my life purpose, and that is to anchor abundance consciousness into this planet. We've never had it here before. We've always been in the energy of lack and desperation, and that's just because we've been conditioned by society and TV and all that stuff. But what's beautiful is the self-development. So you can choose to really get into the self-development, or just learning new skills. You know, self-development can start with something as small as learning how to open a PayPal account and learning how to gift and receive on PayPal. So even when you enter as a gifter, it's going on a journey where you can really learn so much about yourself, because you break so many barriers and you learn so many beautiful things on each stage, from gifter to builder, guide, and then to legend. But we'll get to that in a little bit. So sacred economics has been around since the 60s, and it's of course been off mainstream system for decades. But I think in Africa and a lot of tribal communities, it's been around for centuries. And in Africa specifically, we call it the Ubuntu culture, which means we are one. And there's a beautiful story of a teacher that throws a whole lot of oranges out and says to a whole lot of kids, go, and whoever gets the most oranges can keep them. And they all hang back, they hold each other's hands, and they run together. And then they all sit and they eat the fruit together. And the teacher said, why did you do that? Because if you'd gone ahead, you could have won them all. And they said, but that's not how we are. We all share and we care and we look after one another. And it's time to bring that into the Western world, because it's been a very long time of dog eat dog and not uplifting one another and helping one another. And this really brings all of that together. Blessing millions. Oh my goodness. We can really say 6 months into this that we have blessed almost millions. We are almost there, almost halfway there. But we've given hope, education, and abundance to so many people globally. We have redistributed over $40 million between the hands of our GL members. So Gift of Legacy isn't a company or anything like that. This is purely peer-to-peer, where $40 million has been redistributed by our participants with exchanging gifts to one another. $40 million US in 6 months. That is just incredible. Decentralized, one of my favorite things. We are moving into a world which will hopefully become more decentralized in every single way. And I'm talking about government, money, all sorts of stuff. But right now, with Gift of Legacy, it's a little bit of a practice run into that future. But we are not a company. There's no owner. There's no institution, broker, or trader, or any of those old third 3D words. We are simply an interactive website that manages the movement of the boards in our gifting activity. So when you sign up, you use somebody's referral link and you only put in your contact details. So you don't have to put credit card details or bank details, anything like that. It's purely a system that allows people to make contact with one another and moves you across the boards. The only thing you need is a computer or a smartphone, and definitely an internet connection, because it is vital that you stay connected with the community. And of course, when you are receiving or wanting to send gifts, WhatsApp and Telegram are essential. Peer-to-peer, like I was saying earlier, all the gifts get paid person to person, and it gets paid directly to you, or gifted. We hate using the word paid, but there's no third party controlling any money. If you are signing up with someone and they want money up front, warning bells, because when you land on someone's board as a gifter, you will then see the legend on the board, and that is who you make contact with, and you arrange that. You can arrange it on the board chat on the platform, or you can take it offline onto WhatsApp and Telegram and arrange how you'd like to accept your gift. And it is 100% risk-free because there's no tokens held on the platform. And I know that Tim and many other people have learned many expensive lessons from trusting tokens that are on platforms. So we don't have any of that here either. Another one of my favorites, perpetual. We've got the infinity sign on the left-hand side, and that means it is ongoing, non-stop, and passive. And Tim always likes to talk about when you leave your job and they don't carry on paying you. I mean, how unfair is that? But this is something that can really be a beautiful passive income. And I would suggest, even if this blows your head apart and you're so excited, don't drop everything and focus on this as a full-time job. Rather, use it as a thing on the side. And once you get it to a point where you know that it's going to support you, then start looking at doing it full-time. But what's beautiful is that it occurs repeatedly. What I love is that when you get to the top and you receive all your gifts, you've got an opportunity to go back into the system and start again and gift. And it's just so beautiful. And that's where the figure of 8 and the infinity symbol speaks volumes to the way that it works. What's absolutely lovely is for generations to come, you can actually will it to people in your family, and it can really be a legacy that you hand down from generation to generation. So gift of legacy is more than just a gifting activity. You gift from your heart when you're a gifter. You share the love as a builder. When you're a guide, you're guiding your team. And when you become the legend, you are building your legacy. So we help each other grow and succeed, like I said, while supporting one another and uplifting one another. And what I just love about this community is, like I said before, it's all about the heart. And when you are like-minded and like-hearted, you definitely have the same vision. And with more people and even more joining, we have the ammunition to change lives. I'm going to hand over to Tim so he can explain exactly how this works. And if you don't understand it, that's perfectly fine. I had to watch about 20 presentations before it actually landed, because I came from the business world and I was all about like, you know, who's going to take advantage of me? What is this all about? And of course, it's something that you understand, not necessarily understand. So if you get a little bit confused, just watch the recording or come to our other presentation on Thursday. You'll get a little bit of a different perspective, because we always try and have different presenters. And eventually you'll just wake up and be like, oh my gosh, okay, yes, I've got it. So over to you, Tim.
That's definitely it. It did take me a while to get it as well, although I joined immediately because I saw the huge upside. Without understanding it, I've learned over the years, you've got to climb in and find out from the inside. That's the only way you find out the truth, and that's when it moves from just being from your head to your heart. But before I go on with the slides, I want to share an article that came out from Business Insider in South African independent research group, where they were looking about people's economies since the pre-COVID, what I called BC. And it states here that 63% of employed Black South Africans said that they belong to one or more stokvel-style system. So that's what we fall into. Although we're not a stokvel, we're not multi-level marketing, we're not a business, the concept of giving to receive falls into that. So that is up over 10% since BC before COVID. So that shows that we are in the exact right market, that there is a need for what we have here. So share with everybody. You don't have to understand it, just throw them onto the links. Let's go through some statistics. Candz mentioned to you that I've been involved many years online. I've had a lot of very expensive university lessons. I think university degrees would have cost me a lot less from what I've learned online platforms. So when I first was presented with this in January of last year with the gifting economy, I was very skeptical. So if you're sitting in a similar position where maybe you've been scammed, or you know family members or friends who have been and they've lost money online through investments or structures, and you're coming in with a little bit of uncertainty, and or is this one of those, it's one of those schemes, things, just hold on. Make sure your mind is open and is acting like a parachute. And let's see as we go along that you are going to answer whether you want to do this or not. I'm not here to convince you, neither is Candz. We're just sharing from experience with our hearts. We're not paid. We are just pure volunteers, part of the community that decide this is how we are also going to give back and give forward. Always looking for new presenters, by the way, if you are interested. CV apply to Candz. Only kidding. Let's go. In the next slides, we're going to follow the we're going to follow the yellow circle there, you. There's 2 requirements of everybody, a minimum of 2 requirements. If you do not want to do either or both of these, please leave the call. And it's as simple as that, straightforward. Let's be straight. The first is $100. $100 is once off that you're going to contribute to uplift somebody else. As Candz said, it doesn't go onto a platform. You're actually gifting, and I'm going to explain that just now, gifting an individual. Okay? The next thing is you're going to share it with people. Minimum 2, you're going to bring in to this environment. You're going to share many more people, but 2 are going to join. If you do not want to commit to doing that, don't join. It's not for everybody, and that's absolutely fine. But hang around, because maybe you're going to decide that it is a good idea based upon the results. Now on the screen here, you got some big numbers. I'm not going to read those big numbers. You can. I've been around for long enough where I've been shown multiple big numbers and whoa, everybody can get this. But in the end, I know it's only the people at the top who got in early and right there that get. You're going to see how everybody has the same equal opportunity to get those numbers by just following the system. So I'm going to go through these boards, and there's 4 of them as we're going to go through. And as we progress, I hope to open your mind to being able to receive vast amounts of money. We want to avoid a situation where you have, what do they call that, with where you win lots of money quickly, lotto mindset. I think we all know what the lotto mindset is. Person is where they are financially because of the way they think about money. You go win the lottery. If you have not grown your mindset and your mind and your knowledge to the level of that money, your money is going to drop back down to the level of your mindset. So as you progress, you're going to be able to grow this information and knowledge to be able to handle more money so that you can keep it, learn how to grow it, and then improve your mindset. That's why the lotto people go from getting millions and millions of dollars to worse situation than they were before. So how do we start? $100, not millions, $100. Why dollars? The dollar is still seen as the one world currency at the moment. Maybe in future we'll change this to another currency, but right now it's dollars. Because everybody around the world, and as Candz said, 107 countries, that's a lot of different currencies. I can't list all of them, so we call dollars. That means that if you are gifting somebody, you're going to make sure that they get $100 equivalent, and including all the transfer fees. Just like Candz often says, is if you give somebody a present and it's wrapped in nice wrapping paper, you don't say, oh, here's a gift for you, but you owe me $10 for the wrapping paper. It doesn't work like that. You're going to cover the fees as well. So that also when it's time for you to receive and somebody's sending you $100, you are getting $100, not $94.50 or something like that, whatever it may be. So $100 once off. It's the one and only time you're ever taking money out of your pocket. Pure peer-to-peer. Candz has explained that to you. And you're going to learn how to send money internationally. I didn't even have a PayPal account when I first started. I thought, okay, how do you do this? I went and researched, watched some Google things, got absolutely confused. So we've, over the time, cut this down, and we have training videos to help you learn how to set these up so you have multiple different ways to make it easy for somebody to send you a gift. Now, why would you not want to make it easy? That's part of the education, learning, and it is exciting. This is what a board looks like. The first board is $100. You'll see at the bottom there, you've got 4 different levels: gifter, builder, guide, and legend. Everybody starts off as a gifter position. The legend in the middle is the person who receives the gift. Somebody on this call, and yes, I'm talking to you, decided that this is a pyramid scheme. All that we've done is we've turned it on the side. I'm not here to persuade you and tell you it isn't. Let's see if you can realize why it is not a pyramid scheme by the time I finish talking in the next 10 minutes. And if you're still convinced, hey, no problem. Keep your job. We need waiters. We need doctors. We need everybody in the shops. We need hairdressers. We need all of them. So it's fine. Thank you very much. Okay, $100 in. I'm being facetious a little bit. Gotta have fun. $100 in, $800 is what you receive when you are the legend. Let's break this down and show you how it actually works. And this is the portion where Candz says, you may want to watch this a few times to really understand it. I'll take it to the next level and say the way that you gain understanding is by participating. That's what I believe. That's what I found. You join. Now, it may not be that position. I'm just giving you an example. You'll see that there's 8 gifters, 4 on the left, 4 on the right. But you join. 7 other gifters are also going to join. Now, we're going to be explaining this to you as I go through what it means by join and how does it move. Now, when one portion, in this example, the left side, the left hemisphere, has completed, the board does what we do on that side, splits. In other words, it gives the people on that side an opportunity to move forward and progress, while the people on the right side are still busy following the set system. This means that it just helps people move along a lot more effectively. We don't have to wait for everybody to come to the table, because some people go quickly. I did. Other people take a little bit longer, and they can take a couple of weeks, a month, whatever. There's no time restriction. I need to try and remove something that's on my screen. Bear with me for a second, because I've lost my mouse. I don't know why. So I'm missing half my screen. Where are we? Hold on for me. Sorry. There we go. Now I can see. All right. What happens next? I've spoken about that. There we go. Now, the other part of the board is still going to complete. A board is only complete once there are 8 gifters, and the legend has received $800. Now, that sounds pretty good for me when you consider that only somebody's drawing on my screen. That's very kind of you to participate. That you only put $100 in, you're getting $100 out. I'm going to come back to that from a business perspective, because we are talking about money, and in the end, you do want to respect it, because when you respect money, it actually does a lot more for you. So the second position, so once all 8 positions are filled, or in the example I showed you, the 4, right, you're going to move to the next position, which is the builder. What does a builder do? A builder builds. Now you'll notice, remember I said to you 2 people is what you're going to introduce, you're going to bring into this example. You're going to bring in 2. Person A and person B is going to join. Those are the 2 people, the minimum requirement. You can do a lot more. We'll talk about that later. But the minimum is you're going to have 2 people come in. Preferably not granny and your 6-year-old daughter, and you'll see why shortly. But, well, if you do, you're just going to be taking on a lot more work to make sure that the system functions correctly. As time goes on, the other builder is going to bring their 2. Maybe they're going to bring them before you. It doesn't really matter. Understand the structure of the system. All 8 gifters come in. Once all 8 gifters come in, now watch what happens to you and your A and B people. The legend is going to disappear. You are going to move up onto a new board with a new legend, and you are a new guide. And you'll see that person A and B that you brought in are now your builders. Now, what do you do as a guide? You've learned new skills. You followed some videos. You've been around a little bit more. So now you are going to impart this knowledge onto the builders on how they can introduce their 2, so that this builds the community. So C and D are brought in by A. B brings in E and F. The board is now ready to split. Okay? When either hemisphere fills, that board can split. The board is not complete because it's got to wait for the other 8 gifters. So this legend is still going to remain there. But it does give you an opportunity to jump ahead and become a legend quicker. Now what you see has happened is your people that you introduced, A and B, are now your guides. You are the legend. A's people, C and D, now become their builders. B's people, E and F, now become their builders. It's now their responsibility to bring in their gifters. And this is where it becomes magical. These $100 come to you. What does that mean? The new gift is going to join. The system, as Candz said, is purely there to connect people. So the system is going to show when the new person comes in, very simple registration because there's no money on the platform. It's a matter of just creating an email, username, putting your email address, cell phone number so people can contact you. The gifter is going to have the contact details of the legend. The legend can see who the gifter is. The gifter gets hold of the legend, or the legend might get hold of the gifter. Either way, it doesn't matter. And the gifter can say, "Hi, I'm new on the board. My name's Tim, and I would like to gift you $100. How would you like to receive it?" And the person in the middle, you there, say, "Wow, this is amazing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I can see from your cell phone number, you're in a different country to me. I'm in South Africa, so I'm available to receive your gifts in cryptocurrencies, or I've got a Wise or PayPal account." Legend's going to give the gifter a choice, make it nice and easy. The gifter is going to then, preferably within 24 hours, because you're only going to join if you've got the money. Don't have the money, don't join. Preferably within 24 hours, have gifted the legend. The legend is going to go, "That is amazing," and you're going to be accepted on the board. The other gifters come in. Doesn't have to be in exactly this order. As each builder brings in, their two are going to come through. There's a little bit more strategy to it, but for now, understand the process. 8 gifters come in. You are finished. That means this board is finished and you're no longer at the top. What happens is you go all the way back down to the bottom. So that was specifically put in there for that pyramid scheme guy. Now, what is phenomenal here, Candz spoke about the algorithm, the system, the computer programming that's designed here. See, we don't want to leave boards hanging and behind. So maybe one side, the right side in this example, went a little bit slower than the left side. So when you have finished a board as a legend, you are going to want to get perpetual income, which means you're going to be a perpetual position on a new board. What's going to happen is you're going to go back to the original board if it has not been completed and fill one of those positions. So the left side is done. You can see there, it actually looks slightly different on the system. It'll be grayed out, but you're going to come in on the right side to help fill the other side of the board. How amazing is that? Let's get back to money. From a businessman's perspective, I look at $100 in. Now, it's not an investment. I figured if I lose that $100, if I don't work it, the system crashes, whatever happens, I haven't given it to some multimillionaire I don't know. I've actually helped somebody uplift their life who is in need of $100. So I thought, I'm happy with that risk. You're going to want to go onto the next board, which is the silver board of $400, and go through the similar structure, but at a higher value, and taking $100 and putting it onto the perpetual board again. So you're now going to be on 2. Why do you want that? Well, $800 is not really life-changing. So what's the point in walking away with $800? Even if you did that, it's going to be gone like that. You're not helping yourself, your family, the community around you, or anybody that you brought in. Because if you go, where are the people within the economy that keeps it ticking? This is where I decided I'm in. $100, I gift a person. That's my cost. $300 after my expenses of $400 for my next board and $100 for the perpetual. $300 is what I've left in my pocket. It's a 200% return. I'm in. So I figured if I can do this, I can do $3,000. If I can do $3,000, I can do $10,000. If I can do $10,000, it only is limited by my mindset. I joined this, and it took me 4 days to do that first board. Beat it. You can do it in a few hours if you've got a community and a team that works together, but there's no time restriction. It might take you a month, 2 months. Just follow the system, the training and the guidelines, and you will get there. The perpetual cycle gets even more exciting. You see, once you've gone back to the bottom as a gifter, and you've progressed an 8 fill, then you move over to the next position, 8 fill, you move over to the next position, 8 fill. Now you are a legend again. Because you are already on the $400 board, once you've completed this, you're only taking $100 to join the next perpetual, not a board, but your position to make. That's how the system keeps going. It keeps going. It keeps going. This time you keep $700. And every time that you complete as a legend on a $100 board, after you've on the 400, you're getting to keep 700 in your pocket over and over and over. And you see why it's far more beneficial to remain part of the system as opposed to taking the $800 and running away and going, oh, I can pay my bills in for 1 month. Yes, but what happens the next month? You got to start again. So why not stay part of the system and start working on some decent figures. $3,200, that starts making a difference. The system is exactly the same. You join as a gifter, you gift a legend, $400. As 8 gifters come in, and they all come from the $400 board or a perpetual board, so you move up. Once you're a legend and you've been gifted $3,200, you're going to hold back for the community. It's not all yours. The world is presently going into recession. I love studying, I'm not an economist by all means, but I love studying what's going on in the economy around the world. And right now, this week, I think the announcement is tomorrow or Thursday, I can't remember, the Federal Reserve or the American government is going to announce, they're going to need to announce, or they should be announcing, that America is going into recession because of the third quarter of negative GDP growth, which means that the economy has been shrinking in America, which is going to happen, and we're in a very difficult financial economy around the world. We all know that. Have a look at how much price things go up. The government have decided in America that they're going to reevaluate what justifies a recession. So they're going to change the word in order to avoid saying it. But a recession is created when people stop spending money. So what you want to do here is avoid a recession. You keep the economy going by keeping money flowing. If money continues to flow, recessions are avoided. So you're going to take $1,600 from this and you're going to put it onto the gold board, because you realize the money is a lot more exciting up there. And $400 goes to the perpetual board to follow the same process, leaving you $1,200 in your pocket. Starts making a difference. But now your mind is starting to grow. You're learning how to budget. You've realized how you need to keep some aside, and we're going to show you a way and a strategy in order to help you keep the money for the following board aside quicker and get there, called fast tracking. But perpetually, same process applies. You're on to the next board. Because you're already on that $1,600, as you go through the system and you are a legend as on the $400 board, you're now keeping $2,800 in your pocket. This starts making a difference. I know, I've been there. But this is where the numbers start getting really interesting. $1,600 get you access onto the gold board as a gifter. You're going to contact the legend and gift them $1,600. $12,800, which is 8 gifters, $1,600 each, is what you're going to leave with. The interesting part is the first time you take $5,000 and gift it to somebody you've probably never met. Probably in a different country. I remember the first time I had to gift somebody $5,000, and I love telling the story. I was so excited. It was more of a kick for me that I was giving away in rands. That's 80,000 rand. People in this country don't earn that in a year, and I was giving it to somebody. I have no idea who it was. My wife wanted to know, what is going on with you? So I told her that I've just given away $5,000 to somebody as a gift, and she said, "But what about me?" I said, hold on. You see, I know that if I gift somebody $5,000, and I did it immediately when I joined that board, I got in, I said, right, $5,000. When I did that the first time, I know that it's only a matter of time before somebody else is going to be contacting me and say, hi, so my name is so-and-so from so-and-so country. I've got $5,000 to gift you. How would you like to receive it? That's a kicker. So $5,000, get on your last board. $1,600 you're going to hold to get onto the third perpetual board. Now you're on 4 boards. $100 perpetual, which continues to roll. $400, $1,600 perpetual, and the $5,000, leaving you with $6,200 in your pocket. Now here's the question for all of you. For everybody, whether you're new, whether you've seen this 100 times or 1,000 times. If you could be on a platinum board by Christmas this year, so what's that, 5 months away, 5 months and a bit this year, and you put in your pocket $6,200, how much of a difference would Christmas be? Would there be more presents? Would you perhaps take the family away? What is your reason why you would do this? This is a reason. This is a strong reason. Perhaps your children's going, your eldest is, or your favorite child of your 3 is going to university. So you've picked one and you said, right, you're going to university, the rest of you I can't afford. Now you go, I can afford for the rest of you to go. Maybe you're going to pay the university fees next year. It's a lot of money in any country. Perpetually gets even more exciting. $11,200 gets kept in your pocket. You keep that over and over. You keep the economy going. You put $1,600 in. It seems ridiculous that you put $100 in and you can get $11,200. And if you're going, that's crazy, it doesn't work, and you're not a mathematician, just watch it again. Join, find out from the inside. $5,000, and this is where you get gift of legacy insomnia. You see, up until this point, you weren't sleeping because you didn't know how to pay your bills. Now you're not sleeping because you're wondering, how am I going to spend this money? Isn't it exciting? Now you've completed the whole circle of round one, which means that you're on all perpetual boards, because the fourth board's the last board. $5,000 is substantial. $35,000, that's a fair amount of money. Let's not get greedy. This is good and going to be uplifting your life. On the perpetual cycle, because there isn't another board, you're always going to be taking, as a legend, $35,000 in your pocket. In rand terms, that is a huge amount of money. Have a look at this. Take a screenshot. I often say, take a screenshot of this. Blow it up. Stick it on the ceiling above your bed. When you lie in bed at night, you're going to sleep. It's the last thing that you see. When you wake up, it's the first thing that you see. Meditate on it. Pray on it. Whatever you do, focus on that and ask yourself the question, what am I going to do today to get me closer to $35,000 by, and give yourself a time, in 6 months' time. What am I going to do today? How does it get even better than this? So now I can talk to you about the big numbers. The first 4 cycles, if you've added all up those numbers, is going to be giving you $42,700. The perpetual cycles, because you're on the other boards already, you're going to be keeping $49,700. But that number's actually understated. It's more than that. You can't quantify it because we don't know the speed of the perpetual boards, or the perpetual positions, I should say, as you're going to be ticking along. So there's no timeline on this. It's entirely dependent on what you do by following the set system, not your own system, or reinventing the wheel. You don't need to. And there's a great presenter from America, Alan, who says, the great thing is here, this is the shortcut. You don't need to try and find it. We have given it to you. So this is a point I'm going to keep quiet for a little while. I'm going to hand you back over to Candz, who's going to share some more information with you.
All right. So, Tim, I love the way that you presented that. I think it's a wonderful way to explain it, especially with the A, B, C, D. So that's a lovely new addition. I'm very excited to hear it from you. So in your first cycle, remember, you only need to gift $100 to the legend of the board on registering. And important that you invite 2 like-minded, like-hearted people to journey with you. And you help your 2 invitees to do the same. I cannot stress to you how important it is to realize that it doesn't matter who you join on this journey. It really doesn't. What matters is the people that you bring in underneath you, because they are going to guarantee your success. And by assisting them and making them realize that the people that they bring in are responsible for guaranteeing their success is so important. So if you are bringing granny and your doggy, they're not going to guarantee your success. You might think you're doing a good thing and you can tick off that you've got 2, but you are just going to sit there waiting for this miracle algorithm to come in and rescue you. And eventually it will. But yeah, maybe retirement annuity will come in sooner. So, you know, you can really be a part of your own rescue with this. And like Tim said, we've never ever promised time, because it really depends on how hard you work the system. So, so important. And if people aren't jumping at the opportunity like you did, leave them. You've planted the seed, let it go. Move on to the next one. If you don't get that feeling, that sparkle in their eyes that you got when you got this, they're not ready yet. They're going to become a pain in your side more than an advantage to your flow. So once you've completed your first cycle, you will be auto-joined to enter your higher board first. So like Tim said, you've now completed as a legend on the bronze board. What will happen is you will be automatically placed onto the silver board. You will give that gift straight away. Tim will go into this in a little bit more detail, but you can actually fast track that. So your first 4 gifts, you can actually place yourself manually onto the higher board, the silver board, and get confirmed once you've given your gift. So there's 2 ways. Get your 4 gifts, fast track, or wait until you've got 8 gifts. Remember, you've got to be a really good steward for your funds, because let me tell you, once you've got money, bills pop up. Why? Because it's the way that we've been conditioned to believe. Oh, I've got money, bills are going to come, or a fine will come that you haven't paid. So just be a good steward of your money and make sure that you are reinvesting. And I don't like to use that word, but it is so true. You are reinvesting in your future. You are making sure that you're going onto that 400 board. So now you can guarantee, once you've been confirmed, it's only a matter of time before you get that legend spot and you get that $3,200. Once you've been confirmed as a gifter on your higher board, so in this case, your silver, you will then be automatically joined onto your perpetual bronze cycle. And that is where you will also be gifting your legend $100. If you are asking to be removed because maybe you don't have the money or anything like that, you are not going to be able to re-enter your bronze board. So it is really, really important that you follow the guidelines, because it is so important that you go through all of the cycles. If you're committing to bronze, silver, gold, and platinum. And please, please, please make sure that you do have that gift ready, because when you are a legend and you get gifters on your board, it is so exciting, but it's also a little bit of a letdown if somebody says, please, can you remove me? I'm not ready yet. But that's also fine, because you're making space for people that are ready and increasing the flow. Remember that your perpetual position ensures the integrity and sustainability of Gift of Legacy. So if you are not continuing, you are creating a little bit more time. It's going to take a little bit more time for slots to move into that. So it really is like, when we call it a sacred economy, this is a little mini economy that we've created. And remember, you're not limited to 2. So I was having a wonderful chat with this guy from Portugal. He is so excited. And he was saying, I get it that, I bring 2 and then I assist and they bring 2. But what about if I had enough people to bring 8 or 20? Couldn't I do it like that? Now, everybody's got different strategies. And if you've got enough people and you want to put 8 people all under your referral link, that's fine. But then you've got to make sure that those 8 people have got the support to bring those 2 and then 2. So, a lot of people from a network marketing background will look at it like that. But either way, as long as you're bringing like-minded, like-hearted people that are going to do the same, it is a win-win situation. So what makes Gift of Legacy unique? Well, like I said earlier, a lot of gifting programs out there, they all promise the world. I've not received on any other gifting program besides the precursor, which was also computerized. So a lot of people run spreadsheets, and that's great when you've got your first 40 people, but anything after that gets a little bit complicated and very difficult to manage, and they kind of fizzle out. So on our website, you've got a unique personal profile. It's informative and easy to use, and everything that you need to succeed is at your fingertips. We've got a wonderful academy where you can find all the information, and pretty soon we are also going to be releasing our A to Z document. It was supposed to come out ages ago, but all the recent changes, and we're just updating it. We've got a fail-safe system in the way with board splitting, which assists in leaving nobody behind, because as Tim explained, if one side splits off and the other side is still struggling, they come back in to assist the other side. So no boards get left open. And the innovative algorithm will take care of the new participants while also rewarding existing. Wonderful cross-pollination. We've got a mix of people that will go to boards at different times following certain positions. And then you've also got the algorithm which will place people on the oldest board. But what's beautiful is it's a global community. So, it's wonderful to gift people from all over the world in their different currencies. And remember that there's different cultures. So somebody might send you a message that could offend you, but it's just that maybe they don't know how to speak English, and they use DeepL. DeepL is a wonderful translator tool, deepl.com or Google Translate. But with different dialects and different ways of talking, it could come across sounding a little bit rude. So just, take a step back, figure out where they come from, and treat other people the way that you would like to be treated. Remember, you are definitely not limited to 2 invitees. The more people you bring that are like-minded and like-hearted, the better this beautiful Gift of Legacy Sacred Economy will work. And we've got an amazing volunteer community support team. If you go into your user profile at giftoflegacyglobal.com, at the top of your personal profile, you will see a button that will connect you to support. And what I would recommend is go through everything in the academy. It will help educate you. Like I said in the beginning, I was so starved for education when I started the precursor program, and there was really not a lot out there. We really learned the system by trial and error. So here we've really made it easy for everyone. There's no trial and error. You can really just learn everything you need to know by going through everything. And we have the fast track and board splitting, which Tim is going to go through, but multiple strategies to assist to move ahead faster should you wish. And also remember that we've promised innovation. So, you know, we've never done this before. We've never claimed to know what we were doing. We just love the precursor program. Couldn't really participate in it anymore because it was more for the US. So we decided, with all of the experience from being in the gifting community, to create our own. And we promised the community that every time we can improve something to benefit the whole of the community, that is what we'll do. And it is absolutely what we've been doing. So over to you, Tim.
Definitely. All right. So Candz spoke a little bit about it. I shared with you as well, and this is how fast tracking works. So this is there's 2 sort of strategies here. One is for the person who's got more than $100 and they want to say, how do I get to that $5,000 board quicker? And the other one is to say, as Candz said, help you sort of work your budget a little bit better, because once you get the first gifts coming in, it's amazing how quickly that money flows out. So we want to avoid you running out of the cash by the time that you're ready to move over to the next position or the next board. So here's the strategy. $100 in, that's the one and only time that we do promote and say you take money out your pocket. If you've got more money, once you have got 2 people who you've invited that are confirmed on your $100 board, your silver board opens up. And if you've got the $400, you can actually put yourself onto a $400 board even before you're a legend on the 100. You then join, you gift the legend on that $400 board their $400. And over a short period of time, a couple of hours, you'll be able to then do the next if you want to fast track over to the $1,600 board as well. You can join that too if you've got the cash in your pocket. And you can do the same with the platinum. I know people have done this and they fast tracked so quickly, they moved over to the legend position on the platinum board and were then gifted and are back on the perpetual one while still busy. I think now they're over to the silver board already, but at the time they were still busy on the first $100 board. You never want to forget those, because you need to have the system working through. Otherwise you'll only get to platinum legend once and you're just going to sit forever. If you're not working, the lower board, which is the $100 board. So that's the first strategy. The next strategy is, as Candz said, because half the board can split. So let's say, as the example was, if you remember on the left hand side, the 4 gifters came in. So on the $100 board, you're now legend. You didn't have the $400, but now you've been gifted $400. So before your board is finished and cycles or closes, because now it's got 8, you can actually then take that 400, join the silver board, and progress quicker before you finished your $100. You're always going to have that $100 and you're going to work it to finish it so you can get perpetually going to help the community. The same can be done when you're on the silver board and you're legend. Once you get your first 4 gifts, 4 by 400, 1600, you can then move to the gold board. I fast tracked personally when I was on the gold board as legend to get onto the platinum board. And what was quite amazing, by the time my first gold board had finished, on platinum, I was no longer a gifter. I was already a builder. I was in the 2nd position. So I sort of jumped ahead, if you want, but it helped me in making sure that by the time I got onto that platinum board, and yes, I put a little bit more in. If you work out 4 by 1600, great, $5,000, and then 1,600 needed for the gold board as well. It helped me with the budgeting and making sure that I was there, and it actually helped me move forward quicker. So those are just 2 strategies that you can use, and there's multiple more that you can find out from the person who invited you, somebody's been around more, or one of our training sessions as well. Back over to Candz.
So very, very important. No promoting on social media is permitted. Although it's wonderful to keep in touch with your friends, sometimes not even, because if you don't work with that algorithm on Facebook or Instagram, you don't even see anything that your friends post anymore. It's mainly just adverts. So anything that gets posted, promising things like this, just attracts the wrong kind of people. Definitely not like-hearted and like-minded. No filling of spaces. This is so important. Like I said, all your invitees need to duplicate the system so that the boards maintain momentum. So although we say you only need 2, it really doesn't stop there. Once you find your first 2, it actually gets so much easier, and you really are able to talk about it a lot quicker, and the pressure's off for finding those 2. But you've got to support those 2, and more than likely they're people that you love and care about. So why wouldn't you want them to succeed? Why would you want them to just come in and sit and do nothing? We want to all follow our dreams. We want to pursue our dreams, and in order to do that, guess what? Money makes your problems go away. Money makes life easier. It's true. It is what it is. But really be the messenger and not the message. This is so important. And it's where I lost 2 of my best friends' confidence, because I thought that I could explain this because I had it in my heart so strongly. And I waffled on. And as I was talking, I realized that I started sounding very salesy, and I could see in the eyes that I'd completely lost them. And that is why we are here. We have been explaining the system for almost a year now. So we are the magic that can get them to understand, excited, and all you need to do is focus on getting them to commit to an hour Zoom call on a Tuesday or a Thursday. That's it. Don't worry about getting them to commit to Gift of Legacy. Get them to commit to an hour with the community. Attend regular live presentations or watch the recordings. Even me, after all this time, if I've missed a live Zoom, I will watch a recording because I love learning and I love seeing how the presenters explain it. Also, it's the same message, but with different presenters. And then please remember, on our YouTube channel, there is extensive training available. And like our presenter that's overseas at the moment, Regan always says, trained always beats untrained. So please go and have a look. We've got roles as you move through the boards. We've got, I think, like a 10-part series on how to find people. We've got the AIDA system, which you can go and have a look at. So there is really so much available to help you succeed. And remember to participate in your own rescue. Put that oxygen mask on first. And remember that, like in life, it's important to realize that there are no guarantees. Your success or failure will really depend on your willingness to participate and follow the guidelines. And ask yourself the question every day, how badly do I want this? What is my why? Go back there. Look at that picture on the ceiling that Tim told you to print out. With regards to tax, it's very different in each country. It's called a donations tax. So I always say, just go and Google donations tax in my country and it will give you all of the advice, but really important to comply with the tax laws in your country. And remember that Gift of Legacy is decentralized. Remember, we spoke about that in the beginning. Decentralized means that there's no third-party affiliation. There's no ownership or partnership. So you sign up with your link, you get placed on a board, and you gift the legend, who you probably won't know, $100. No more, definitely no less. And if you are joining Gift of Legacy via a third party or part of a package, you really do so at your own risk. And remember that we are 100% peer-to-peer. No funds will ever get paid to a platform. No funds will ever be asked for before you join. And gifts are always given to the Gift of Legacy participants and only gifted to the legend when landing on their board. Beautiful love heart. This is a Gift of Legacy initiative. We have an amazing NPO called Graciously Givers Movement, and Love Heart position is part of that. So Graciously Giving Movement is responsible for the reason why GL is here. So it has been funded by Gift of Legacy, Graciously Givers Movement. And we just thought, in order to give back again to the community, And so many of us made a mistake in the precursor program because we wanted to rescue everybody. And then we realized so many people aren't interested in being part of their own rescue. So we got the space fillers. But what's beautiful about the love heart positions is if you are part of the program and you've already successfully invited your 2 like-hearted invitees and they are doing their thing and everything's working smoothly, you can actually take out a position for $100 and sponsor a cause close to your heart. So it can be a church, caregiver, soup kitchen, animal welfare, so many different things. You can read about them there. I've taken out positions for all of the staff that used to work for me. They're not in I really tried to get them to join Gift of Legacy, and they were always worried about finding 2, and they didn't really commit to it because they didn't want to disappoint me, but I know that they still require the support. So I've taken out all of those positions for them. I haven't even told them yet. I'm only going to tell them when they get to Legend and I can share the gifts with them. But what's beautiful is they don't need to bring 2 invitees. And, you know, I've already brought in 10 love heart positions by doing that. So I feel like it's really supported the movement on the boards that we've started building together. And what's absolutely lovely is you can manage it on behalf of somebody, or if they are technically savvy and they've got a smartphone and they can connect to the internet, then you can empower them by learning how to receive and gift on this platform by just having the necessary, you know, PayPal, Wise, Revolut, any of that. And then all they need to learn is how to communicate and how to send and receive gifts. So the position will be sponsored by you. And if you'd like to go onto that and sponsor somebody, remember, you choose somebody. So we don't have a list of people waiting to be sponsored. You will go to the first URL, the ggmmovement.org/loveheart. And then also, just to let you know, so far GGM has contributed about 2 million Rand to the system. So it costs us about $15,000 to $25,000 a month, just depending on how many changes or what we need to do. And we ask that if you are getting gifts and you have that feeling in your heart that you just want to share, there is a donate button on the home screen of your Gift of Legacy profile. You can just click on there. And since I've been talking about just $1, if everybody gave $1, we've collected over $1,001. And I mean, that was 2 weeks ago. So it's probably increased since there, but it just shows you $1 from each person can make such a difference. Brilliant. And initially GGM was actually started because we wanted to fund loads of positions and sponsor many people in to also assist with the movement. And that will happen once the program is fully complete. But at the moment, most of the funds are being used to get the program going and making sure that we never shut down. And oh my goodness, there's so many things that are working in the background to make this happen for everybody. Take a photograph of this because this is the schedule for all of our Zooms. Normally we've got Motivation Monday. This coming Monday, we've got Mia. She was man down yesterday. I think she thought that she could push through, and by 6 o'clock yesterday evening, she was just like, I can't do this. So she'll be back next week, Monday. Got a fantastic lineup for the next couple of weeks, which is really exciting. Tuesdays and Thursdays, we've got the same presentation that we're doing this evening. Wednesday, we do orientation or training. Tomorrow evening is going to be a little bit different. We are going to be chatting with Tim about recent events that have happened and just clearing the air with certain things. So we can just move on and carry on with our lives. And then on Friday, what we normally do is we unpack various topics from Gift of Legacy. And I also like to have testimonials. So if you've got a testimonial that you like to share, please get hold of me. I would love to hear from you. I'm sure the whole community would love to hear from you. And most of these calls, the English main Zooms are at 8 o'clock South African time, so same time as now. And the rest, we've got Spanish, German, Finnish, Italian, Portuguese, French, Afrikaans, Zulu, and Asian. So really worldwide. And I'm sure, I mean, we're in 107 countries, but it's very difficult to try and find all the presenters and keep them in one group. So if you are a presenter and you want any information, again, please reach out to me. I would love to support you and help you grow your communities in your country. These are the official English Telegram groups. So we've got our community group. That was an interactive group until it got to like 26,000 people. And then it just became crazy and unmanageable. So once in a while, we'll open it up. We've got our official info only, where we only give information and recordings. And then my favorite is the Gift of Legacy testimonials. It's real people sharing their stories and just really being grateful to how Gift of Legacy has changed their lives.
Fantastic. Sure, we've gone way over time. I told too many stories, I think, tonight, so I see people dropping off. But thank you all very much for coming. If you want to see, we're starting to do more live as different groups around the countries and around the world get together. So this is for South Africa. We've got 2 set up in the next 2 weeks. This one, I think, I can't even pronounce that. I think that's in Potchefstroom. Or Bloemfontein.
I think Bloemfontein, because Bix and JC are from Bloem. So around that area. Yeah.
There we go. So by all means, go and join. I'm not sure their structure, but this is a great place. If you're not sure, go meet the people. Go see the people. I miss that interaction. We've got very good at Zoom, but everybody's that size. I like seeing life-size people and having a hug and just a chat. We've got one in Cape Town on the 4th of August. I'm in Cape Town, and we're going to start 7 o'clock. We're going to do a live presentation. I look forward to this. It's been 2.5 years since I did a live presentation. So live presentation, discussion for the first time. Bring all your guests who've never seen it before, or they've seen it, want more. 8 o'clock, a bit of a social. There's a bar there, there's tea and coffee, what have you. But we're going to have great fun. And now the world's sort of opening up more to receiving people. We're going to do this more and more in South Africa. And I know around the world, they're already doing it as well. So get together, let's get interactive with people and really enjoy what we have and share it. So from my side, thank you, Candz. Oh, I love sharing and presenting with you. It's great fun. I love your energy.
Always fun, always fun. And, you can really feel passion. And I absolutely love Gift of Legacy. I love everything about it. And I wish that every single person has an opportunity to experience the beauty and the magic that it can create. So from my side, please join in tomorrow. If you are confused about what's going on out there, we'll clear a lot of stuff up, and we just look very forward to a wonderful future with you, because it's infinite and abundance, and there's no end. So have a wonderful evening, everybody. We love you, and big hearts, love.
We're in South Africa. It's winter here. I always say stay warm, stay healthy, get wealthy. Good night, everybody.
Bye.